to me at this point as minor injuries.
All right, before we move on to our guests, can we also please put out the statement by Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, on the New Orleans attack? He says, we strongly condemn the cowardly terrorist attack in New Orleans. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. May they find strength and solace as they heal from this tragedy. So this is the latest update that's coming in. Let's quickly rope in Rabindra Sachdev at this point in time. Rabindra Sachdev, the fact that an ISIS flag has now been found in the Ford truck that was used to carry out the New Orleans terror attack, what is that really indicating? And at the same time, do law enforcement agencies across the world now need to really look into how the modus operandi continues to change for terrorists? We were discussing this earlier as well. We don't see many large-scale bomb blasts or explosions taking place per se. But what we do see is an increase in this type of attack where a truck is taken to a crowded place, where cars are rammed into people, where there are knife attacks. So this is the changing modus operandi that we see increasingly, and the fact that an ISIS flag was found shows also the investigative agencies have said that the man who carried out the New Orleans attack, he was posting things on social media ahead of the attack, that he was in a way inspired by ISIS, and all of this is happening through the internet.
Well, thank you so much, Devika. See, in the big picture, it obviously shows that ISIS, their ideology, their fanatic worldview is there, and we cannot say if it's growing, but it's very much alive and kicking. And this is one segment of radical Islam which is absolutely looking to kind of continue down the path of evil. So that is there. No matter taking out, let's say, Osama bin Laden, you cut off the head, there are other, limbs out there. It's like an octopus which kind of regenerates, I think. So that's where we are as of today. I mean, the Middle East has definitely been in turmoil, a lot of turmoil, but thankfully some of it has settled, I think, in some ways positively, but still the turmoil which is there will further give rise to radicalization. And in this day and age, as you say, of social media and, instant connectivity and messaging, it's easy for ideologies to, spread around. It's easy also for, lone wolf, so to say, or solo people to find out the kind of dark sources that they want. I mean, this guy, who drove into New Orleans and carried out this attack may not have been, regularly, let's say, attached or associated. We do not know as of now with ISIS. He could be nurturing his own grievances, but the point is that poisonous ideology is there. And with that poisonous ideology, he goes and does something with a flag. And this inspires others also. And, the basic objective of a terror organization is to spread terror. And that's what they're doing. Okay, by such acts, sure, the more they kill, the more they feel, that they have accomplished their targets. But it's much more the terror that they spread, the lifestyle choices and changes that they make you undergo, right? More security, more this, more fear, and all of that out there. And another very, perfidious objective is, again, stereotyping. And this could very well lead in America to, let's say, attacks against brown-skinned people, like after 9/11. This is something like that on a, if not that scale, but something like that. Okay, so what it does, it creates further schisms within society. Okay, both sides, look at the other as evil, suspicious of the other. It furthers the divides, and that is the objective. So that is unfortunately a reality of the world in which we live today. But thankfully, to some extent, some of these very divisive elements are being taken out. Intelligence services world over are cooperating more, I think, compared to the last 20, 10, 5 years. And each such incident brings or reinforces the need for higher security. But the irony, not irony, one fact is that you see, the answer to terror often seems to lie in technology. But what that misses, because you see, it's easy for political leaders to say, okay, fine, this attack occurred. How can we fortify ourselves? Okay, we enhance security. We put up metal detectors at, entrance of schools, even schools or event venues, etc. We put up CCTV cameras and all. So what we look at typically is using technology, because it's easy to say, okay, I've spent $100 million we've allocated for fighting terror. The point is that technology, yes, is a tool and has to be used, technology and weapons. But are there other tools, quote unquote, which should be used to counter the terrorists? And particularly, I mean, ideology. Though it definitely is difficult to, fight ideologies, but we can prevent the spreading of ideologies in some ways, maybe. I mean, I think that's the biggest challenge nations face. And back to America, yes, America is an extremely divided society today. In my book about Trump and Kamala, I look at it. America used to be known as a melting pot of cultures. That was the notion of America, right? The culture of America is a melting pot. My argument is that America today is actually a boxing ring of cultures. MAGA on the one side and what I call KAGA, let's say the other, the grouping.
Yes.
It's a MAGA versus KAGA on another level, which thankfully has not descended into terror. Just a moment, please. But it could descend also into violence. That's the other danger America faces right now.
Okay. We also, meanwhile, viewers, gas canisters and large